This Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode review is intended for and targeted to adult fans of the series. And Blaze and Roxy's appearances in this week... when I start talking too fast. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode review. I've never been terribly big on celebrities, though I am a little bit more so now after meeting some amazing Power Rangers actors at Ranger Stop 2019. I am big on media and journalism since that's what I was educated in. So let's take a look at an episode that combines both of those things, the 17th episode of Beast Morphers, Ranger Reveal. At the Channel 10 studios, a big crowd has gathered, including the Rangers, all to meet Hollywood movie star Nikki Rev. Ben and Betty are there as well and have a gag with a weird extending automatic selfie stick that only deserves acknowledgement, not description. Nikki is coming to be interviewed by Zoey's mom Muriel, an interview that will advance her career as a journalist. However, Nikki calls Muriel and is forced to cancel the interview, disappointing the crowd as Muriel announces this. As she goes inside to inform her boss, Vargoyle shows up. A cameraman trips on a barrier and drops his camera as he runs away, and of course, dropping the camera doesn't break it, but instead starts it recording. As the Rangers morph, the camera is pointed directly at them, capturing their morph. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. The Rangers fight Vargoyle, who demonstrates that he now possesses each of the three beast powers, seemingly enhanced as well. When he uses cheetah speed, objects don't even seem to move as he runs, almost a minor form of time travel. He can easily catch and throw back heavy objects like Ravi, and can jump higher than Zoey. However, just as Scrozzle warned, the upgrade chews through MorphX, so he quickly runs out of power and has to retreat. So during the fight, the camera took a direct laser blast, but kept recording. When the Rangers leave, Muriel and the cameraman step out. Muriel realizes that the Rangers must have morphed right in front of the camera. The memory card was damaged by the blast, but the cameraman says he can fix it, and Muriel will be able to reveal the Rangers on the 6 o'clock news.
Roll credits.
As she starts getting ready for the show, Zoey shows up on set answering her mother's call. Nice little touch here, as at first Muriel is just happy to see that Zoey is okay, but then tells her about having captured the Rangers morph on camera. For her part, Zoey plays this perfectly, managing to look happy while clearly being concerned. Once she realizes that her mother doesn't know who the Rangers are yet, she tries to tell her that the Rangers probably don't want people knowing who they are. However, working in the media business, Muriel doesn't seem to understand this, saying that the Rangers are gonna love being famous. Besides, this is going to shoot her career to the next level. Zoey tries to protest some more, but a producer comes up to tell Muriel that Nikki Rev has rebooked her interview for just before the 6 o'clock news, and she tells him about the Ranger footage, which basically locks that into the show. In the cyber dimension, Vargoyle is describing a new plan to Evox. Activating a memory pulsator will allow Evox to get enough MorphX to escape the cyber dimension, defeat the Power Rangers, take over the morphing grid, etc., etc., etc. Blaze and Roxy come in and say not to listen to this coward who had to run away from the Rangers. They have a far better plan. The memory pulsator. Yeah, it turns out this was actually Blaze and Roxy's plan from the very beginning. Scrozzle, wanting to stay on Vargoyle's good side, not only told Vargoyle about the plan, but built the machine for him. Evox, once again, couldn't really care less about their squabbles, saying that if Vargoyle was smart enough to steal their plan, he's smart enough to execute it. At the Riptide Gym, Ben and Betty are trying to fix their selfie stick machine. It leads to a hilarious, for all the wrong reasons, gag of Ben just getting repeatedly smacked in the head by the phone. I did laugh, but just because it was so incredibly dumb. Anyway, it just barely applies to the plot, as the stick then extends forward and catches a woman's hair, pulling back to reveal that it's a wig worn by Nikki Rev, the movie star. When everyone realizes that she's there, they instantly start mobbing her. She plays this very cool, even asking them to please form a line, but the mob mentality holds. Zoey and the Rangers realize that she needs some help, so they move past the crowd and move to get her out of the building. Back in the only drink Diet Coke dimension, a Robotron has been formed. Its name is Shockatron, and it's made, of all things, from a cotton candy machine. Shockatron and Shockadrone are going to hit the city at the same time, distracting the Rangers so that Vargoyle can plant this memory pulsator doodad. The Rangers move very professionally in getting Nikki out of the building, taking her through some back hallways, and getting her to a Grid Battle Force vehicle that'll take her back to her hotel. This shows the Rangers, especially Devin and Steele, who had mentioned that it might be kinda nice to be famous, that it's not all it's cracked up to be. Commander Shaw calls and updates the Rangers on the enemy movements. Nate and Steele are going to take on the Gigadrone, while the Core 3 take on the Robotron. The three find Shockatron.
Chaka Khan?
No, Shockatron. Anyway, they find the monster in the park looking for energy. They instamorph. Devin doesn't say it's morphin' time. And have a short fight. The Rangers go to finish off the monster with a Beast X Blast, but it's able to catch the energy on its two sticks, like cotton candy, and throw it right back. The energy sort of hits them. It swirls around a bit and kind of explodes in their general vicinity. Anyway, Devin calls swords only, and they start sword fighting the thing. Meanwhile, Shockadrone...
Chaka Khan?
No, Shockadrone. Anyway...
Get on with...
Shut up! Shockadrone shows up, but Nate and Steele are right there in their Zords and get to work. Vargoyle shows up at the news station and goes to plant his memory pulsator. Back at the Gigadrone fight, Nate and Steele are landing a lot of hits, but the Gigadrone has the ability to absorb that energy and throw it right back at them. Nate calls Devin and asks for some help, and Robbie tells him to go. He forms the Racer Zord battle mode and leaps into the fight. Robbie manages to finish off the Robotron with a Beast Slash. An alarm lets him know that it's almost 6 o'clock, almost time for the news, and Zoey says they have to go talk to her mom. Devin says that's fine, that they have things under control, and indeed, a few more hits and Devin gun slashes the thing. Zoey and Robbie arrive on the news set unmorphed. Doesn't it seem like the Rangers could have just shown up morphed and been like, don't? And try to talk to Muriel, but she won't listen. The producer says that Nikki has arrived for her interview, but Muriel says she doesn't have time to do it since she's getting ready for her big scoop. Zoey gets an idea and says that she'll do the interview, and since she's both Muriel's daughter and a fan, the producer agrees. You can probably see where this is going. Zoey starts the interview as Muriel goes and gets the repaired memory card from the cameraman. She steps back out just as Zoey steers the interview into questions about what being famous is like. And Nikki's answers really resonated with me, especially as someone who was just at a convention and saw some actors who had a very similar attitude to Nikki's. Her response is written perfectly. Sometimes, she says, being recognized can be really amazing and uplifting. Other times it can be kind of a hassle. That doesn't mean that she's ungrateful, it's just the reality of the situation. She missed the morning interview because of fans hassling her at the airport, for example. She says she just wants to make movies, but sometimes being famous can be really hard. The interview ends and they shove Muriel right onto the set as the Rangers wonder if the message got through. The show begins and Muriel says that she has exclusive footage of the Power Rangers morphing, but she's not able to reveal it. She saw the interview that her daughter did and realized if the Power Rangers were made to be celebrities, they would not be able to protect the city, and that puts everyone at risk. She destroys the memory card. As the show moves to a story, she finds her daughter and apologizes, saying that she almost made a huge mistake. Zoey congratulates her for making the right call. Just as I was saying that the producer would be super mad about this, The producer walks up and at first does seem to be mad, but then smiles. Their phones are ringing off the hook in support of a reporter with real integrity. We get a villain stinger this time as Vargoyle tells Scrozzle to hurry up with the programming on the memory pulsator, having secured it to the TV station's transmitter. Let's just go ahead and throw the shade, shall we? Episode 17, Ranger Reveal. Pros, an episode almost centered on a side character, a very accurate look at media and entertainment, and moral by the Rangers, not for them. Cons, another overfocus on the human story, a straight-up pointless monster, and Blaze and Roxy downplayed yet again. May not have been super Ranger-focused, but a good story nonetheless. Ranger Reveal gets 4 shades out of 5. Technically speaking, this is a Zoey focus episode. But let's be real, this is a Muriel focus episode. She's the one that learns the lesson, more on that in a second. The story centers on her development and decisions. It's really neat every now and then to get stories that focus away from the Rangers. I'd love for Blaze and Roxy, though they are Rangers, just saying, to get their own straight-up focus episodes at some point. As I've said before, media is my thing. In the past, I've felt like the writers of Power Rangers had absolutely no idea how a newsroom worked. This episode felt very accurate and true to life. All the little details, the structure of the news show, how the producer would think and respond, it all just felt very real, like it was something that was actually researched. A camera taking a laser blast and still recording, that's a bit of a stretch though. Nikki's little speech on being a famous celebrity also rang very true, both having met some celebrities and having heard them talk about it, as well as, and I'm going to be completely real and true with this here, myself having taken the tiniest little half rung or less step up on the ladder of fame where I will get recognized in the right situations every now and then. It just, for me, it struck the perfect balance between the gratitude of being recognized and sometimes just wanting to be left alone. The scene at the end with Zoey and Muriel was really great as we had a Ranger teaching and reinforcing the moral, not learning it themselves. It also felt great because it was an example of an older adult learning a lesson from a younger person, demonstrating that no, sometimes adults don't have all the answers and do learn things from their children. You might have noticed that this time all 3 pros were focused on the human side of the story, even further demonstrating a lacking aspect of the Ranger side of the plot. The whole villain plot in this episode is just setting up for a villain plot in another episode, and I guess multi-episode setup of a plot is nice, but it ended up hurting this episode. I guess it did match kind of well with a really strong and actually somewhat dominant human side of the story, but I just found myself wanting more from the Rangers and the strength that we normally get from that side of the plot. Last time I said that Turbotron was wasted potential as a monster. This time, the monster was just a waste. Shockatron was just a useless monster. Even its name made no sense.
Chaka Khan.
It did have a somewhat cool ability, but I guess that ability felt a little too Japanese, the ability to swirl energy onto sticks like cotton candy and throw it back. The whole villain plot this week was just a distraction, so in that sense, I guess this monster was perfect. And Blaze and Roxy's appearances in this episode barely constituted a cameo. They're only in the episode to realize that Vargoyle stole their idea, and then Ebox tells them to shut up about it, and they just do. I really wanted to see the beginnings of their plot to take down Vargoyle, not just, oh well, he stole our idea. Guess we have to go think of another one. Last time I said the episode felt like a springboard into the greater wrap-up plot. One episode later, we're still standing on the springboard. This ends up being the episode that feels like we're moving towards the greater plot, with the memory pulsator and the implication that it could be the key to freeing Evox from the cyber dimension. Once again, this was good stuff. I just find myself getting hungry for something more meaningful. Let's see if the 18th episode of Beast Morphers, Rewriting History, sates that appetite. When Vargoyle's device makes everyone think Blaze and Roxy are the red and yellow Rangers, it's up to Steel to save the city. That's going to do it for another Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode review. Heroes, thank you so much as always for watching. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of this episode and of my review of it. This time I'm going to ask you, what did you think of Shockatron? Like me, did you feel like he was just a waste and just not really anything worthwhile to the episode? Or do you feel like I said, matching that with a strong human plot and the villain plot being a distraction meant that a wasteable monster was absolutely perfect? Let me know down in those comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all of my videos and ring that bell. Get your notifications set up so you'll be notified whenever I post brand new videos, such as these Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode reviews. And if you'd like to contribute to my channel in any way financially, consider becoming one of my patrons. Head on over to patreon.com/orangerangervideos, where you can see my various tiers of support and the returns that you get for that. But if you can't commit to the monthly thing, head on over to ko-fi.com/orangerangervideos, where you can buy me a coffee. Imaginarily delicious. Those are set at $3 a piece, and I greatly appreciate any support I find at either of those sites, as well as just sharing my videos, telling people about my channel, sharing the word of the Orange Ranger, and all of that good stuff. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. The word of the Orange Ranger? What? So, let's take a look at the episode. The episode. Nice little touch here, as at first, Muriel is just happy to see... Gosh dang it. Just, yeah. Of Ben just getting repeatedly smacked in the forehead by the phone. And formed from all things, farts. Formed from farts. As Muriel steps back into the cameraman's office area, farted, never mind. And as I said, I'm gonna try to avoid saying that.